I hope you like that fun little intro there. It's just a bit of a joke between me, John and Bill. I got a delivery of Labocosmetica products from Clean and Shiny a couple of weeks ago, and doing my sniffs test, I decided that the Semper smelled like Lynx Africa. So yeah, that's what that was all about. Speaking of Labocosmetica then, we're going to be doing a detail today. We've got a Ford Puma coming, so it's not the classic 90s, it's a 20s model. In fact, it's less than 6 months old, so we're going to be using some Labocosmetica today. And first of all, we'll be using the Primus, which is a pre-wash that I'm going to be applying through a snow foam. And then we've got these, let me just go and grab it. And then we've got the Semper, sorry, left it upstairs, which smells exactly like Lynx Africa, which is one of the car shampoos. Oh, stuff smells amazing. Bill will argue it smells like an Italian aftershave, but either way, it smells really nice. And then over here we've got the Purifica. I don't think we'll be using this today. It's another shampoo for coatings and sealants. And this one, to me, if I can open the bottle, smells, here, sniff that. Smells like Calpol. I think. It smells something from my childhood, and that's the closest I can get to it so far. So at the time of your viewing this then, Turtle Wax celebrated their 75th birthday a few weeks back. For me, it was just a couple of days ago, so I'm going to be testing out this wax that they've sent as well. So yeah, there's a couple of brands here. Oh, and I'll also be using the Stiana Gloss Snow Foam Lance to apply the Primus with as well. So if you've not seen that video, we have done a review on the Snow Foam Lance. Check it out up there. So enough waffling on, let's get on to the detail. So as you can see then from the opening shots there, then the car's been a little bit neglected. The owner said they've had this from new in September. It's only been washed maybe once or twice since. And they've also got 4 dogs, so hence a lot of the dog fur in the car. Here I'm just quickly showing a quick 50-50 on the difference. Just rinsing alone makes, especially on wheels and the bodywork, it does remove a lot of the light surface dust that's on there. And then there's always a straight onto all the wheels, starting with the tyres and an all-purpose cleaner, and using a stiff brush until the foam turns white. And then that way you know the tyres are nice and clean, ready for some tyre dressing at the end of the detail. We're just using a regular wheel cleaner here as well, a non-acidic one, a non-bleeding wheel cleaner, just to get the wheels nice and clean. And then with these original wheel woolies, just going to get inside the barrels nice and clean and avoid any scratching. These are like a matte or a satin finish on the wheels, they're not a gloss black, so we don't want to risk inducing any scratches onto them either. And then finally clean the faces of the alloys and the wheel nuts with a regular detailing brush, and then rinse it down and repeat on the other 3 wheels.
So onto the pre-wash stage then. We probably could have used an all-purpose cleaner here, maybe a TFR, but I just thought I'd see how the Primus actually fares all by itself in terms of cleaning power. So whilst this doesn't look like the thickest of snow foams to apply, it did have really good cleaning capability. So I kind of wish I took a rear angle shot just showing the before and after on the boot lid as I rinsed it down. But yeah, I never realised it was going to be this powerful at removing a lot of that traffic film on there. So a really good, impressive snow foam here. So one that I'll be using a lot more of it in the future. Whilst the snow foam is dwelling away then, I just want to take a quick moment to say if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed to this channel already, please make sure you do consider subscribing. I know a lot of you guys are coming here and you may be new to the channel, so yeah, our stats are telling us a lot of you aren't subscribed, so smash that button below. You may remember in the earlier shots I showed a lot of moss and mold buildup in the window rubbers, and here I'm just hitting them with some 10-to-1 all-purpose cleaner, some Koch Chemi Green Star, and the work stuff detailing brushes as well, just to get into those rubbers basically and get all the moss and algae out of those. So yeah, we're going to go around the entire car, give it the initial pre-wash stage before moving on to the contact wash stage. Onto the wash stage then, and we're using the Labocosmetica Scent shampoo here, and if I remember correctly I used about 10 ml of product into 14 or 15 litres of water. I think I measured 14 litres out into the bucket and then filled the rest up with a pressure washer just to generate some extra suds. By the end of it I probably actually diluted it down into sort of like 17 litres really, and it's still foamed up really well towards the end. Here we're just trying something a little bit different with the wash stage. Because the sun had popped out, I didn't want everything to be drying on the car, so I was washing the sunny side and then rinsing it straight off, same with the rear, and then when we moved on to the passenger side and the front, they were still in the shade, so I could do my usual wash method. So here we're using a work stuff wash mitt for the majority of the cleaning work, the windows and all the uppers of the car. And then for the lower parts, we're using a separate blue microfiber wash mitt, just keeping different colours so I know which one's which. We're also using the 2 bucket method as well. So if you're new to detailing, I'll put a link up in the top now to the Back to Basics series we did last year. And I know it's getting to that time of year where a lot of you are just getting into detailing and you may wonder what some of these terms are and, you know, the correct processes, so to speak. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and check that out after this video. So the main reason the car was bought in them for a detail was for a full decon and get some protection on the paintwork, but also to give the interior a really good clean down. As I say, they've got 4 dogs, and they say the dogs don't go in here, but they have been in once or twice. They use a different vehicle usually, but that would explain some of the dog hair that I was finding in here. So getting all the foot mats out first and the board from out of the boot, and just giving them all a brush down. With these shorter nap carpets, I do like to try and brush them. The Hoover sometimes struggles. And then on the interior of the car, I seem to have missed altogether shooting any video in, but I did actually just hoover the majority of it up first, and then with a separate brush them into little piles what's left, and then hoover the remaining up. When you're dealing with interiors, make sure you're wearing at least some rubber gloves. Some eye protection is always handy, especially with sweeping out debris. It can flick back into the eyes. And when you're clearing out door pockets, have a good look in them first. Don't just stick your hands in. You don't know what you might find in there. So yeah, collect all the rubbish and yeah, go at it. Onto the plastic trim work, we're using a selection of detailing brushes, and here you can see it may not have totally gone, but we come back at this later on with a smaller toothbrush, which we'll see in some other shots. So yeah, you'll find sometimes the dirt really gets into the ingrained plastics, and a regular detailing brush just might not bring it out. So yeah, just keep going at it, use a toothbrush or something like that if you need to, and then just mop away the dirty solution afterwards with a microfiber cloth, and just again keep repeating this. Here in the boot, I'm not quite sure what this is, but yeah, it's made light work of that with some all-purpose cleaner. Yet again, all-purpose cleaner will be a friend on cleaning interior plastics. And just like I said, just keep repeating it with some detailing brushes, toothbrushes if you need, and yeah, microfiber towels to mop away the excess. So with the interior all done and nice and clean now, it was on to finish off the bodywork. So I gave the car initial hand polish. I just thought it didn't really need the machine breaking out for this. As I said, the car's like 6 months old. There wasn't much in terms of swirl marks, so I just went around with some Stiana Gloss Scara and a microfiber pad here just to basically rejuvenate the paintwork. And you can see from a shot at the end of the microfiber how much extra dirt and grime is still pulled out. So even though I've done a full wash stage, I've decontaminated it, you know, the tar remover, iron remover, there's still bits left in the paintwork, and that's what sometimes this extra polishing step can help you with. It'll just bring out any deep ingrained dirt that's been sat in this. Although the car may only be 6 months old, there's no telling how long it may have been sat in a field or at a storage yard somewhere before the car was actually sold on and registered here in the UK. And then finally we finished off with the Turtle Wax 75th birthday ceramic and graphene paste wax. That is a mouthful to say, and I believe they said there's also a combination of 10 other waxes included. So yes, this wax is a mixture of 10 waxes. It's got some ceramic in there and some graphene in there. So yeah, it was literally, I think, about 3 or 4 days before this detail. We was on a live call, Turtle Wax celebrating their 75th birthday with some other goodies sent out to a bunch of select detailers, YouTubers and Instagrammers. So that's what we're using here. So I'm a big fan of using paste waxes. I always have been. I do enjoy doing that. However, I did find this a little bit grabby, and I got around about half the car and I was getting really frustrated. So I dropped Bill a quick message. He's one of the founders of Detailing World and manages our Instagram account. And I asked him if he had the same experience because I know he just used it, and he said yes, he'd found it a little bit grabby. Now on the day it was about 8 degrees, 9 degrees, so it wasn't freezing, but it was a bit cooler than you might expect. His tip was to actually apply it in a grabby manner and then go over it again, apply a second coat almost immediately after. As for the buffing off, came off as easy as you like, so can't complain on that. It was just the initial application, so I will be using this a little bit more, see how we get on with this in the warmer conditions in the summer, and I'll also try and get some beading shots. I didn't have time to get any beading on this, but I do have some which I'll overlay in a moment from what Bill got on his car. So yeah, you'll see a blue car pop up in a minute, and that's some beads and sheeting shots that he managed to grab for us. So yeah, we'll crack on with this and then we'll be getting onto the trim work. Finally then onto the trim work, and we're starting off with the exhaust, and I absolutely hate doing exhaust, so this was made a little bit easier using the Detailed Online Reflect, the metal polish. So I just basically smear this all over the exhaust tip, and then with a metal polishing cloth from Dodo Juice, just polish that up the best I can. Then hit it a second time just on the sort of very edge, the very tip of the tip, and the inside with some 4-0 wire wool, and again just really clean that up as best I can, and then just do the outside just one more time very quickly with the metal polishing microfiber cloth. It came up all right. I mean, thankfully it was quite clean anyway. I'm not the biggest fan of doing exhaust. The tyres were then dressed with the 26 JPN Hydra tyre, which is an SiO2 infused tyre gel, which I really do like this, and once again applied with a work stuff applicator. That's pretty much it for the trim work then, and then glass. We'll get on to some finishing shots and I'll meet you back in the garage.
So there we have it, that's another detail done then, and yeah, the interior was a little bit worse than I expected. They said it wasn't trash, just messy, but they've got 4 dogs, so a lot of pet hair to remove, although not the worst I've ever seen. So quickly then, the products that I've used today, the Snowstorm Snow Foam Lance. I've done a video on that, as I said, I'll put a link to that in the description below. We use the Primus and the Semper. So the Primus then that we use, this one, very, very good cleaner. So although it may not look the thickest on camera, it did cling around for about 5 minutes so, and the sun was starting to come out, so I had to give it another light blanket afterwards. But it's got really, really good cleaning power. I wish I had the camera running when I was rinsing the back end of the car off, because it really transformed the back. And the Semper, as I said, I love using this. 1 to 1500 dilution ratio as well. I forgot to mention that earlier on. So I literally measured out 14 litres of water, 10 mil of this, and then just topped up with the pressure washer. I kept going afterwards actually. I probably ended up going up to about 18 litres by the time I'd gone in and out a few times with the pressure washer just to create more suds. And it was still slick, still really, really foamy as well. So smells really nice as well. Like probably one of my new favourite smells. Really nice, that is amazing. And the Purifica, I've not had a chance to use, that is another shampoo, but I'll be using that in another video, so keep an eye out for that. So the Turtle wax then, that was a 10 waxes in one blended, plus graphene, plus ceramic. Honestly, I found it a little bit grabby to spread. It's about 6-7 degrees outside, and I messaged Bill halfway through, and he said he found the same, and it's going to be better in warmer temperatures, so if you can get the wax warm or, you know, leave it in the house beforehand. But he said what he did as well is apply it and then apply it again on top of that. And then it applied much better, especially in the cooler temperatures. But I'll be trying that again in the summer as well. So as for coming off, by the way, it came off very, very easy. So it was just the initial application, but it may just be a little bit too cold at 6-7 degrees. So yeah, just before we finish, we've got a couple of giveaways. So if you watched the last video, you know I've been clearing out my garage, and I've got a few boxes stocked up of items that I'm just never really going to get around to using. Not that they're bad products, they've all been tested. So if you do win these, yes, there will be a little bit of product missing. We've got a box here, and let's just dip in and see what we get. This one's got a trigger on it. There's not much in there. There's Polished Pigs wheel cleaner. That can be actually diluted up for regular words, but I think there's more Polished Pigs. So let me just have a quick look. We've got spray wax, which I'll throw in. What else do we have? Shampoo, I'll throw that in. I'm sure there's another Polished Pigs. And Polished Pigs polish as well. So you know what? I'll throw all of these in. So that's 4 bottles. All these ones pretty much full. The spray wax, you can see, shampoo's been used just a few times. And the polish. Like I said, the wheel cleaner can be diluted to get more. That neat will probably do 1 wheel, and I think that's a Golden Bird trigger spray on there. I'll leave that on for you. So to win these then, I'll let you know how to do that in just a moment, but first of all, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you smash that like button. Also, don't forget to check us out on Instagram at Detailing World Official, and my Instagram on there is randomly set. And to win these, just look for this picture over there, and just leave a comment saying Polished Pigs, and yeah, I'll just pick one at random. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you click this button up here to subscribe, and I'm also going to put a link to some videos here and here that we think you might enjoy as well. So yep, hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next one.